I think the era, parish orphans and retrogrades, of saying common sense stuff is coming back. The most salutary thing I see in middle 2024 at this point is that it's becoming popular once again to say obvious stuff. You know what I mean? I think that's really what's the best thing in this whole pile of mess inside the church and the world. That's my initial thought for today's show. I think it's going to become fashionable once again for human beings inside and outside the church to embrace their rational animality, our specific difference as a species of the genus animal. What sets us apart is our reason. We are the one rational animal. And I just think it's great to see people everywhere going, smart people, middle of the road intelligence, sort of simple people going, X is X and Y is Y. And so as far as it is concerned by today's topic, Archbishop Vigano says there's a late sentencia excommunication on President Joe Biden. My response is, yup, obviously. Biden must be recognized as excommunicated after Transformers Day of Visibility declaration. Well, yeah. And everything else he's done. On Easter? It was on Easter. It was on Easter. So, yeah, I mean, cool. This does not require expert analysis. It's just, yeah. All the Christ is King hubbub leading up to Easter, where conservatives were wagging their finger at other conservatives. Oh, should you say this? Should you not say? Are you kidding me? Should Christians in a Christian nation be declaring the social kingship of Christ? Yes. Duh. This child murdering, loving, supporting president of ours, who calls himself a Catholic, who has the unmitigated temerity, pure galling temerity to call himself a Catholic, while saying he wants to restore abortion rights. And then he declares Easter, was it really Easter Sunday? Is a day of Transformers visibility. He wants to call himself a Catholic. No, you're out of the church. You're already halfway to...
It was Easter this year.
HE double hockey sticks. It was Easter this year. So there's a war between God and the devil, and people are all in 2024 just saying to themselves, no, we don't like this. And you might think that the observation that common sense is coming back is kind of common sense, downstream of common sense. Well, it's not, because if we look 5 years ago, 2019, or let's just do 10-year increments, 2014, it wasn't. Everything prior to, I'd say 2016 was some sort of inflection point, at least in American culture. People, conservatives even, still just didn't say obvious things. We don't like Skittles. Conservatives in 2014 even kind of struggled to say we don't like abortion, but we don't like Skittles. It was still new, the Transformers thing, but if you watched Fox News in late 2014, 10 years ago, they're still walking on eggshells. Oh, we love all the other faiths of the world, you'd hear conservatives say. No, we don't. I mean, we want to convert them. We don't love the faiths. Not by a long shot. No, sir. We don't do that here. And I just love, I'm going to talk about the Biden story and what Vigano said in fine in a second, but that'll be today's show. But for now, I can't get over this opening declaratio, observatio, that we're just returning to the common sense point of view that we don't do that here. This is, if you go back to 2004, a year before I got married, I don't know what I was doing in 2004. Steph and I went on a trip with my family, supervised trip or whatever, the year before we got married, to Alaska. That was really cool. Really, really nice thing. And my uncle brought everyone along. This was going on in 2004. It was the middle of the Bush era. Conservatives just didn't say conservative things then. They said, we should go to war and we should have slightly lower taxes, even though Bush Jr. outspent Clinton in his second term, if I'm not mistaken. And that's all you talked about. You didn't talk about, conservatism is just Christianity. Back then you would say things like Judeo-Christian values. There ain't no such thing any more than there's such a thing as a circular square. You'd talk about inclusivity. The Bush era was all about compassionate conservatism. That shit is dead in the water, and it couldn't be better. Could be a better time for compassionate conservatism, neoconservatism, all brands of cellophane-wrapped conservatism to have just died. It's just Christianity. And, we're not huge fans of having to partner with the Protestants, but we'll do it. It's a different thing with the Eastern Orthodox. They get it a lot more. They have more problems with Catholics than we have with them, really. But you got the sacraments, you got bishops, then you understand Christianity. Protestants are barely there, but culturally, on all things but foreign policy, they get it for the culture war. And in 2024, Protestants and all stripe of Christian, just seem ready to talk about nothing worth preserving unless it's Christian values. That's all that matters. That's all we care about. That's all we care about. And that means that we're repudiating a whole lot more and saying we don't do that a whole lot. This ain't our way of life. This is foreign. And we're prepared, most of all, to say what's foreign is identifiably bad. It's bad. We're not going to be scared with cautionary examples that we've been brainwashed by movies to hate. Like, if you say that's foreign and therefore it's bad, then that's like a mean white guy in a film in the 30s or 40s or 50s would say that. It's like, no, this is what we say. That's foreign. We don't like it. That's not even Christian. We don't like it. This guy's a Christian who openly defies Christianity in his way of living. Nope. That ain't for us. And that's our president, Joseph Biden, who Archbishop Vigano, I'm going to get into the specifics here, momentito, is just saying, look, he's already late sententiae excommunicated. There's not much hope for him. Same thing in Catholicism. People are tired of, maybe there's this 1 in a million shot that, like, Judas could have gone to heaven. No, there's not even a 1 in a million shot Judas went to heaven. It's confirmed by the New Testament in like 3 places. But even if there was a 1 in a million shot, conservatives are sick to death of hearing about 1 in a millions as if they're likely. We're just going to go with the smart money. We're going to play the numbers. And that means we say, as a matter of common sense, we don't do that here. We say Judas is in hell. We say that murdersome politicians, they're paving their path to hell. We say left Catholics aren't real Catholics. Left Christians aren't real Christians. No such thing as Judeo-Christian values. All right, it doesn't mean we're talking about political expedience for not being able at this 11th hour to coexist peaceably alongside other religions. That's fine. We'll have to do that. But what we are saying is, if someone were to hit the reset button in 50 years or 100 years on how to do a republic, we ought to go back to true republicanism. Aristotle, Polybius, Augustine, Cicero, Seneca to a lesser extent, Aquinas, Bellarmine, Suarez, Montesquieu all agreed about one thing: a republic must be small and univocal. You can't have a bunch of different types of people with a bunch of different types of religion. We want to hit the reset button. And it's not up to us to do. That's providence. But when someone does so, we are willing to say, okay, well, for the rest of this little sort of failed experiment of America, the idea that every republic can be huge and you can be diverse, pretend diversity is our strength, we're just going to acknowledge that's a failed experiment. And next time, if I'm alive when they try to run it back, maybe I won't be. Next time, stick to 2,500 years of classical Republican theory.